assignment, and we're going to look at that. That is the scope and sequence assignment. I already had it posted in case you were interested in checking it out early. It's posted this week. But if you roll down here to our final week, it's the curriculum design and sequence assignment. That should be, yep. It's the curriculum design and sequence assignment. Sorry, I was double checking myself there. That's it this week. I will have a lecture video posted. It's not going to be super long. It's just kind of the basics. Also, I have an article online. I was kind of fishing, but this is one that I really liked. That's the PowerPoint. I'll have the article posted too. That'll all be there. But the main purpose of this video is just to make sure we're on the same page with some things. The only thing that you need to worry about starting, I guess, today, officially 12:01 on Monday, is the scope and sequence assignment. I'm going to pull it up. Actually, what I'm going to do is go back. I don't know, like I want to make sure I don't click on anyone's stuff. Let's go back here. I think I have it under here. Yep. Scope and sequence. As you can see, I have it on the 8th. I'm actually going to bump that back. Actually, I'll do it right now. I'm going to bump it back till Saturday at 11:59. I need to have those in though to grade. I need to be able to get them graded on Sunday so I can get your grades in on Monday. With that being said, if anyone is tight on time, just email me. I have no problems. The work's been great. This is between the action plan and this, I know it's a lot to type. If you do need an extra day or two, let me know so I can put you in for an eye. That's the big thing. If you really think that things are getting too tight, I don't know if they will be. Hopefully you don't have to do that. But if you do, I don't want anyone freaking out over trying to get stuff all in. If you think it's going to be a little too close, just let me know. You just need to let me know by Sunday if you think you're going to be really tight on time. I'll give you a couple extra days. You will get an eye and then complete, but that's all right. I can easily do the paperwork and smooth that out. That's just again, I normally wouldn't do that, but these classes with 7 weeks, I think they're just so quick. So I want to just make sure that everyone has, their just time to do everything. With that being said, let's talk about the assignment. It's scope and sequence. There's a lot going on here, but basically it's just a curriculum design. It's kind of like how the action plan is a utopian type thing when you're looking at that. If you look here, there's, you're going to go in, you're going to do a course overview. So you're going to pick an area that you want to talk about: middle school life science, high school American literature. I'm going to show you an example with US history. Then you're going to do, course design, 2 to 3 paragraphs, target audience. Then you're going to go into standards. I'm not going to be overly picky with the standards. If you're going to use West Virginia standards or another state standards, that's totally fine. I use kind of blanket general standards on mine, but national standards are fine. Just some sort of standard alignment. You're going to have a chart, and I'll show you. I'm actually going to provide a template if you want to work off of it, and you can put everything in there. But you need to have a chart with the title, the duration, the questions, the key concepts, and the assessments. Then you need to write a rationale and justification. Doesn't have to be overly long. Double spaced is fine. Around the page to 2 pages, justifying your choices on all this. I know I'm kind of flying through that. So here's what I thought might help. I have an example, and there it is. It's a US history scope and sequence template. You are welcome to type over this. I will post this up as a Word document. And as you can see, it has the title. This actually went from the colonial to the modern day. I don't think I would ever do something quite that large, but for the purposes of this, it worked. You just do your description, who this is for, your standard alignment. And then, as you can see, you just go in there and you start mapping it out. So you'll do Forging the Nation is one, expansion. And as you can see, there's the duration, essential questions. By the way, there's a lot of essential questions in here. As long as you got 1 or 2, I'm fine with that. Key concepts, and then how you're going to assess. The formative and summative should be listed. Again, you don't have to go too crazy long. And there's this one. This one went to 7. Again, it doesn't have to go that long. If there were 5 things there, I would probably be fine with that. Actually, when we rephrase that, there's 5 big things there, I will be fine. It'll show me that you need to map it out. You can go more, you can go less, but 5 at least. And as you can see, you just start, there's the decisions. You just say why you're doing things and how it aligns, and standard integration, and then just kind of an overview of the formative and the summative. It's kind of just more detailed planning, but it is it's our key assessment for this course. So this is a scope and sequence. Again, I will post this up, and you can just go ahead and use this as a template if you want. So you should be able to type right over everything. You can set it up a different way if you prefer. I have no problems. But basically, again, you might want to make sure you watch the lecture in case you have any questions about the scope and sequence process. Again, I'm trying not to use these too much to the lecture, but I will just say, it's really just, it's putting your mapping to work and just kind of thinking of the big picture, I think is a nice way to say it. I have a feeling most of you probably have some form of this already if you've been teaching a while. So, however you plan to do this is fine with me, just as long as I have it and kind of, it follows this template. So that's the scope and sequence. That's the last assignment. It is due on Saturday at 11:59. I will do my best to get them all graded. I have to have them done by Monday by 9 a.m. And actually, I need to have them graded on Sunday. So if you don't think you're going to get it in, just email me so I know ahead of time to get the I in on the grade book, so I don't take anything off. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do not mind putting an I in. So with all that being said, thank you again. All the work has been wonderful in this class. I think you all bared with me a little bit. This was the first time I did this class, first time I've ever done it online. I tried some new things. I think they worked okay. I didn't hear anyone. I've heard back from some people and they liked stuff. I'm trying to update some stuff with like using more modern technology and making things a little more seamless. Like you're probably noticing in this video, by having the video kind of created from the content, it keeps it more succinct than me sitting here babbling a lot, which I'm prone to do. So